Heading to the right, already in the attacking situation. Oh, sorry. And we have the Flyers now with Turnbull knocking on the door to Ramadan. Back to Turnbull. Ramadan just waiting, setting up in the middle of the field. Goes around wide. I think it's going to beat everyone wide, and it does. That'll be the first turn of the game. Southside Riptide now get their chance to get the full field distance. A little wind behind their back. And your commentators today are myself, Phil Shields.
And I'm Sam. How are you doing, Phil?
Good, thanks, mate. What do you think of the first game you played in that?
A lot of cobwebs to dust off. But in this game, you could see from that throw that Ferdy just threw then, right now, away from the camera, the far side of the field, that's the side you want to be playing on. Like, we found it really hard in our game when we worked it to the close side of the field to keep that disc moving effectively. So yeah, through the middle, through the high side, far away from the camera, that's where you want to be. And it looks like Southside doing that pretty well.
So back in the mix now, we've got the Southside Riptide doing their hat. It's in their hands. And I can't see them. Blindsided, it's coming back. Got Perkins now. Perkins centres it. We've got Tran looking straight down the guts for a score. Great first score of this game by the Riptides. And here we see it again in replay.
Yeah, I think it looks like the Flyers have tried to put in a bit of a zone, but it's so loose. Like there's just no pressure around the disc. There's holes everywhere. And yeah, I think if they're going to keep that zone look for the rest of the game, it's going to be so tough. Like we played against a lot of zone just then, and it was like 3 meters on the dot. Really tight. There was like you had to create your own gaps to throw through.
Let's look at the teams. Do you want to go through them with me? Let's start with the Flyers. What are your thoughts there?
I think this whole year, like we've had just so many outs from last year. So many like key players that I thought played so well. I think Bambi is actually a bit of a steal as a rookie pick. Like I played against him a little bit. I haven't played since last Super League, but he's a gun. Obviously, Ferdy just fucking carries a team. And then Harry, Keith, super solid. Like every team, it just drops off. Except for Riptide. I feel like I was looking at their team before and like, geez, like Richard Appleby's their last pick. Like,
yeah,
that's an absolute steal. Ryan Froud, I think everyone forgot who he was.
Yeah,
I think that's a steal. Like John Perkins that low, I feel is a bit of a steal. Like, could he have gone instead of Keith beforehand? I don't know. I don't know how the snake actually worked out, but it just looks really scary the whole way down.
And Brill as captain and Turnbull as the opposing one for Flyers. How do you feel about the captains tonight? Do you think they'll put in captains' performances?
I think John Brill's captain performance is just, it's not as like explosive as say like a Lockie Eichner, but he's just so solid, like such an engine room cutter, and that lets your other, I think he makes other stars shine more.
He does.
And then
Go on.
Oscar, I haven't seen too much of Oscar. I'm not too sure. He played really well last season, but I'm not sure. Like as a captain, unproven, I suppose, to me. But well, here he goes.
Speaking of the man himself, it's a long put.
That's good. Oh, was that?
And we get a second hand by.
That's a great read by. I don't know who number 10 is, I'm afraid, but that is a great read by him. But, so having said that, didn't mind the throw from Oscar. Like
it was a good look, I felt.
Oh. And look at the field position he's gained from the throw.
Now, I spoke about wind before. I'm feeling it on the sideline, only a little breeze, and you discussed that before. But, you know, it shouldn't. I mean, we're in Super League at the moment. I mean,
it always feels like a gale when you've got the disc in your hand.
Absolutely. The pressure's on, spotlight's on. And we are under lights tonight. Lights going on halfway through that last match as we get a score there for Flyers as they answer.
Is that Bambi with the goal, I think? I think that's just, yeah. I think Bambi might be the strongest rookie pick, including me. He's really, like, if you have a team that's, like, that doesn't need a thrower, then he can be just so effective downfield. Like, great shutdown defense. and like a pretty good head on him. God, that's really good field position.
Yeah, that was
by
good,
number 10.
Good
Shut him
defense
out.
there.
Shut him out. Timed the jump. Like that's what you want from your defense. Played it really clean as well. Like it's so easy just to like your head just to get full of steam and knock the other person's arm. Like even though he had the position and everything. Like
and a big stretch out there to try and get the D, but not quite. Easy turnover there though by Blue.
Yeah, and again, like throwing to this weak side of the field as well. Like, even if that throw does come off, I still don't like it because you gain a couple of meters and in a worse position. It's like I was just trying to drum it into the force in the previous game. We just want to play from that far side. It's so much easier when you play from that far side. And so let's see if actually right now there's actually no wind. It was way more windier in the force game if you watch that.
Yeah,
and all
you
the
felt
it.
Like,
yeah. You felt it. Yeah, it was way harder.
We'll talk about a decision near the end of the game that you made a bit later on, maybe in this match, and maybe your thoughts behind that. For players at home, we won't tell you the result of that match, though. You can look at it on ULTI.TV. Obviously, all Super League games are being live streamed, but they will be there for your viewing pleasure.
Like, look at this zone field. It's so loose.
It is loose.
There's so much space. Like, they just need a couple of people just to stand behind this cup.
So they are relying a lot on...
They've worked themselves to this weak side. This is the captain.
I think Oscar just...
Oscar didn't do a good job.
He totally misread that. There it goes up.
Ryan had 2 bites. I don't know. I think if Oscar's going to make a meal of it like that, I think Ryan needs to... He needs to
make him pay.
Yeah.
Back in that action. Fly's getting it to the far side, as you said. Will it work for them?
Again, like those throws are easy because they're going with the wind, but it makes it hard for that thrower if they get trapped. They're working.
So Turnbull doing a lot of the movement midfield.
You see, he wanted that throw to go right to the other side of the field, but because of the way the wind's going, it's just pushing right down that flight plate and just holds it up.
And then it drops early at the last.
Yeah, it just drops out. It just drops right in the middle of the field. Yeah, travel called here. I'm not sure about this. Generally don't like travels. I guess, but there's no one around him.
No, it probably didn't affect play, which I think is also a key factor.
Did we get to that travel? I don't know if we got to the travel. Either way, an unmarked travel call. He didn't step around a defender. I don't know.
Maybe to the letter. But
yeah, of course to the letter, but like that's a call. It just ticks you off, doesn't it?
It's just a call because you know you're getting broken.
Yeah,
beaten.
Like he didn't gain anything. I don't like it. Slows down the game and makes it look less enjoyable viewing experience as well, I think.
Stops everything, and the players on the field feel it as we get a big wind up.
Oh, make him pay though. I like this. God, he got close. Did he call himself out? Really?
That did not look out on my screen, and I've got
in.
a big screen TV here.
We're going to have a close look at this.
He was so far in.
Yeah, no, there was 3 white.
Oh,
he stepped on the line.
Stepped on the line.
Oh.
That was a good spirit. Spirit isn't lost in Super League after all.
Yeah, I think it's just a mistake, like a receiving error then. I don't think you can call it anything else.
No.
Gets broken to the high side again. Ooh, I don't mind this playing through the middle, but that's what I don't want to see.
Back in the hands of Turnbull, goes middle, halfway up the field at the moment. Flies looking now. Will Turnbull pull the trigger a third time for a turnover? Or will he hear the commentators, which are close to him? Oh. And didn't pull the trigger, but got the turnover.
Oh, gosh.
That's going to stay in the air.
All right, he's redeemed himself.
And again, Turnbull, the man in defence underneath that. Second one he missed as far as a good defensive contest goes. So I think we might have to watch Oscar to see how he continues with his captaincy in this game. But meanwhile, there's that one again, just a little bit too floaty.
Good D by John.
Yeah, nice.
That'll look good on a poster, I think. Maybe from a lower angle. not happy about the throw though. Yeah, Oscar just, I think he got bodied out. I think there's
He did.
really good body position. Like, again, I'm not sure
So this is
who these new players
number
are.
10. Who is number 10?
Oh, I don't know. They should have the number. I guess they didn't know the numbers before tonight.
Who's J-Ray Garcia? That's what I want to know.
Nah. Was that Matt Gordon? I'm not sure, but great read. Put himself in a great position. Jumped, got at the peak of his jump. Like, absolute textbook.
His name's Matt.
Yeah. Matt Gordon? Yeah.
Matt Gordon. Shout out.
Yep.
Yeah, he blocks really well.
Get the timestamp for that one, Matty. You can watch it back to your heart's content.
But apparently he does that a lot, so look out for it.
Riptide ahead by 1, getting ready for the pool.
What was the serve at the start, Phil? Riptide up a break?
Good question. I can't remember. It was Flyers heading to our right. I feel they might have got it.
A little bit gusty now, so you really want to be playing for that high side. This is... Oscar does well. He's got to bounce it back to the high side, though. This is where you're getting Harry trapped.
So Buckland looking for
He
his
does
mate.
really well.
Big wind up by Turnbull down the sideline.
Still...
Two working each other. They know each other's style, so Harry will probably look for Oscar, and he does get it back. Does some hard running. Comes down the sideline. Ferdy Ramadan. Did you see that layout? That's a highlight one. Great stretch down the sideline to Turnbull for the score. What a beauty that. Now Ramadan.
Might have to frame by frame.
Let's see that one.
What landed first?
That's true.
I think the highlight might have blinded people to the fact that he might have landed on the line then.
He's all good. Very hard to land top first. It's very hard. There'll be some part of his body that lands first.
Okay.
The hand is on first, actually. Left hand went down.
That's the front hand though. Like if that's on the line.
You're right.
That's pure instinct and reaction.
It was hand on the ground. It's perfect form.
Yeah.
So special comments in the background if you heard that from Pillar Rogers.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll get your headset for next week.
But pure instinct and reflex there by Ramadan. That was just awesome. That's a team-saving, team-inspiring effort.
Yeah, I really like I don't mind the way that Flyers seem to be playing this offensive set where Oscar's back and Ferdy is that mid superstar that can be dangerous. Because like sometimes when you have your superstar handling, it's really hard for them to make things happen. If nothing's happening upfield, you have nothing to throw to. But if he's up the field generating like the amazing things happening, then like that makes you so powerful. Whenever I played with Sean Davis, I loved putting him in the midfield. It's like, Sean, you're going to be the primary cut.
Where else are you going to put him?
You go and you make him the primary handler. Otherwise, that's where he plays mostly. But I think like as a primary midfield player, he can just be so dangerous because you get so many power positions. Like Ferdy's going to be in power position a lot this game if he's playing upfield. Whereas back as a handler, he gets static dump sets and have marks on him all the time.
So getting into this game, it looks like Donaldson will be handling into the centres to Tran. And we've got a straight up mark and a bit of, again, that zone D, which has got some holes in it. Big hammer across.
That just shows you how little wind there is tonight.
Yeah, there's no wind here.
Oh gosh.
And they're just chewing this up.
Bit of a bit on the Wilson catch, but yeah, big gaps in the middle. Just got to play throw. He's slow. He doesn't need to throw the goal now.
So I'm wondering why they're persisting with this zone look.
Oh, Oscar maybe a bit on that. Yeah, I think if you're going to play the zone this loose.
Do you think they feel as though they don't have the matchups?
They must do, I guess, but like if you're going to play the zone like this, they must feel that they don't have the matchups because they can't match it athletically. But if the wind's like this and you have the depth of throwers that Riptide do, I don't think you have the athleticism to play the zone in these conditions either. Like you need that eighth player in the wind to play this kind of zone, or to play zone now, where throwers have the disc for 3 or 4 seconds and your cup can have a rest. Like, it's more stop-start than instead of just go, go, go. So
I'm going to be a bit harsh on Turnbull once more. Sorry, mate. He was the defensive player again on the catcher who caught it in the end zone for Riptide.
Yeah, you always look back and then like, if I'd bid, I would have definitely
Yeah,
got
and that's
it,
what I was thinking. Like, it's a bit of a lackadaisical effort at the moment from Flyers, except for that one outstanding by Ramadan.
Do you know what the remedy to that is?
Tell me.
So you would have played with him a lot.
Yeah.
Like SA legend Tom Lee.
Yeah.
And he's known for absolutely ridiculous layouts that were nowhere near the disc. And he would used to say, like, if you lay out for everything, then when you get the chance, your reflexes will kick in and you'll get the disc. So if you're always laying out, that's just ingrained in you that you're going to lay out for the one that is there.
Truer words were never spoken. I think that's exactly.
But he'll always be remembered as a fucking showboat. So.
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's right.
But
a great showboat.
He did get a few layout Ds that were pretty impressive. I'll give him that. He doesn't listen to this anyway, so it's fine.
Much. Riptide now returning the favour with a zone. Look.
It's so much tighter, though, because they're...
Oh!
There's the layout.
That was Perkins.
Look at them close in when they get close, though. This is what I like. This is how the Flyers need to play this. And look, Ferdy's stopped now.
There seems to be a lot more effort in this Riptide zone.
Hammer.
Chow.
Oh, come on. Harry has to win this. Okay.
So the over-the-top one sealed that deal for the Flyers. And the deep was caught napping.
Oh, that hammer got there very fast.
Buckland, free as a bird, chooses just to draw the player. Donaldson unable to cover two.
Harry definitely needed to win there. When you're playing 1v2, you got to win. But it's fine. We had someone else streaming into the end zone.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Next time. But you see how much more effective that there's only a few throws, but you see how much more effective that Riptide zone was.
There's the layout there by Perkins. Great effort.
Yeah, we didn't quite get to see in that replay, but as soon as the cup got there, they just collapsed onto 30 and it just made it much less effective.
It looks like we're going to have an exciting game. It's a 3-3 draw at the moment, and the question is who's going to break first, as in get the 2-point lead.
The 2-point lead. Well, like you said, I think this is on serve now. So I think Riptide did have a break, maybe. I'm not sure.
It's a bit of a moot point, being 3-3 anyway.
Yeah, and at this sort of level, you can't take too much from a 1 or 2 point lead. Like they can always be fought back. It's always easy to, defensive runs always feel so easy when you're on them.
So Foley, will he make the difference for this Riptide team?
There's more holes. There's more holes. Even though I don't like Riptide playing around this. Oh,
Ramadan couldn't have been more than a paint work away from that D.
Riptide working this really well. Great little throw from Foley.
Now it opens up.
Yep, don't need to throw the goal this throw though.
Ooh. Just settle
Foley
down.
just throws it into the ground.
Yep.
Again, don't need to throw the goal.
Don't push it. If
those,
it's there.
those 2 points on the line though.
That's it, centre it. That's the way to do those.
Yeah, great patience. Very good gap. I think if you watch that back, you'll see John working the zone for 5 or 6 passes to get that goal. Whee!
There's the tight one.
Yeah, that's one that Ferdy will stay awake at night a little bit tonight, I think, thinking about that.
Could have got that
there.
one. Could have, should have, would have.
Could have got that block. You think about the hops that Ferdy has. Just got a bit of a spring. Yeah, this zone's just...
So nice clean
it's not-
O by Riptide in the end there. Flyers, they'll have to do something. I mean, offensively, Flyers are working it well. Riptide aren't really challenging them a lot defensively. And probably vice versa, I'd suggest.
I don't think there's been too many, like, good effort blocks. There's been blocks on hucks and stuff, but those aren't,
They don't count.
Yeah, well, that's not the pressure. That's more a thrower error where I want to see blocks that the thrower does everything right, the cutter does everything right, but you get the block anyway. That's the ones that that's the ones that win games. That D's that you can come away and go, oh, we just need to throw better, or oh, we just need to catch it. Like, they don't demoralise you, but when you do everything right and they get the D, that's demoralising.
And then the other demoralising factor on that one is when you get a D and there's a turn,
you throw it away
straight back.
Yep. Is that directed at me, Phil? Is that?
No, not at all. Not at all. But we still have a maybe just before half time we might talk about an unusual, but well within the playing rules decision that someone made. So, back into this game, we have the Flyers moving it down the far side. Light wind now. Here goes Oscar once more, coughing it up to Donaldson.
Jack's pretty tall.
Yeah.
He's pretty tall.
I think that might be an understatement as well.
That's, that's
what is his height? Do you know?
Oh, it's got to be like 6'4".
6'4", you reckon? And
higher? Tim's saying higher.
I'm 6'3", way taller.
Yeah.
What?
Well, Tim wishes he was 6'3" sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think Tim's 6'3". Tim's 6'3" in heels, maybe.
So we see a set up for a zone by Riptide.
Mr. D. It's a 3-2-2 zone, by the looks of it. Richie playing a bit of a mid or a loose point. I'm not sure.
Richie, Appleby, number 9 on your screen, is playing quite loose.
Oh, he throws it with the wind, though. Don't mind it. But Jack's pretty tall.
Who threw
I think
that?
he's 6'12", 6'11".
Maybe 6'13".
6'13", yeah. That's what you want to say.
I'm not too sure about sticking the landing.
I'm not too sure about spiking it on him, though. I hope they're good friends.
That was Taylor Smith's.
That was... I love it. Like,
Here we see a couple of the
pretty good
turnovers
form
again.
as well. Yeah,
So I think this was again turn ball to Donaldson.
Jack Donaldson, 8 feet tall, they say.
So there's Gordon again in the mix.
This was not on. What's the win for that?
It's coming from directly
Yeah,
behind.
I think the win...
But even so, with Donaldson in the mix there.
Yeah, it had to be perfect. It had to be perfect.
That landing, I'd really like to see a zoom in on that.
Like,
It's sort of
my God.
He lost his hands, and it was more of a face plant and a shoulder plant that followed.
What's the rules for that one, Rex? Not sure. A reputation hit, I think. Oh dear. Somebody get that guy's name.
I think that was definitely Buckland that did that.
Oh, it's
Richard,
I mean the spike on top of Harry's
of
head after he'd landed. That's right. I'm sure they're best mates. It's fine.
Get to see it again.
See it again. It's one of those things. One day Harry's going to be like in the right position at the right time, and he's going to have that reflex.
Well, you've already said it. You've just got to keep doing it till it becomes a reflex, and you'll get it. So a lot of zone, no match. Have we seen?
I think
there was a first point match. I can't even remember that. But since then, it seems to have been nothing but zone.
And you were saying like the Flyers might be worried about not being able to match up on the Riptide, but I think the Riptide can definitely match up on the Flyers.
Yeah.
Like, and you can if you're worried about 30, you can cycle a few defenders through him. Like, run Wilson on him, run John on him, run John Perkins on him. So just a cold drop.
And that is just a drop in the hand and bouncing out.
Yeah, you hear. You're in that situation. You hear like Jack's bloody elephant footsteps coming at you, the stampede.
So that's Newen. What can you tell me about Newen?
Newen? Phil, I haven't played all league. I haven't played since last Super League. I'm not too sure. Like I said, there's so many outs this league. Like you think like both Sean Lace and Sean Davis. Like no Vish, who I thought played really well last season. No Kaido, who played really well last season. No Pat Christie, who has played
Perkins
well
goes long.
years.
Donaldson sends it. Let's see. Will it? It should
it
stay
stays
in.
it should
No.
be bit of a misread on the wind there.
Donaldson took out the driver. Should have cut it back by one.
You see the crowd scampering away. Yeah, there's a misread on the downwind, Huck. Not that there's that much wind at the moment.
So Rodriguez and Ordonez enjoying the view from the back, having to move out the way from that Jack Donaldson Huck.
Oscar trying to push his troops deep on the upwind zone point, which is a bit questionable.
Upwind, you say?
Yeah, well, it's a thrower's wind. But you want a few people up around.
And
like,
Newen goes long, but
cup.
Donaldson's defending that deep.
Yeah, I think that the wind is what held him back there. If you had like a slight tailwind.
Chow comes through, looks him off, decides for a
Nice little fakes from Oscar.
nice dump. Comes back to the near side.
Again, you want to be paying through 30 on that. Is 30 being assassinated by Wilson a bit, I think?
It looks that way.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Like, take out the star, make everyone else work for it. Wilson's a good assassin. He won't get distracted. Jack's gonna have to make up some distance here.
It's just too high. It's too floaty.
Yeah, way too.
Like, it was a good look, but it needed to be lower and spot on. The floaty one with Donaldson at the back, he's going to get them 99 times out of 100.
Yeah.
That is not a good look.
I think that exact throw going the other way would be an absolute dime.
It would drop for quicker, but it's going into the wind.
It's going into the wind. It just gets held up. There's no edge on it either. Like, I hate talking about him, but Ben Powley, who always talked about flat throws, like they're just asking to be D'd.
So I think Brewer was looking for that, and he just stopped dead, but it was easy an overthrow, I think, anyway.
Oh, yeah. That's just not reading this quote-unquote downwind throw.
So Donaldson +1, -1.
No, +3 minus.
+3, -1, is it?
It still looks great on the stat sheet. Oof. I don't know if that the no look through a zone.
That's Froud, I believe.
No.
No?
Played with him last year. Oh, that's a cold drop.
9 with his second drop of the night. Newen, sorry. Bill Newen. Foley points.
This is where Foley's going to be very valuable.
Tran, big
Just
swing.
in the right spot. Ooh.
Works him underneath it. Could be a give-go down the sideline, but instead goes long.
Ooh, yep.
And that's
Nice
an
D from
easy D
Bambi.
by...
Like, Bambi is sneaky quick. He's going to get those sort of Ds. In this case where Ferdy's being assassinated, I always like the assassinated player picking up the disc because it puts him in the game. It gets everyone else like away, gives him a chance to like hold the disc and make a little bit of a play. Whereas like right now, he's not going to get a huck with Wilson on him.
No.
And it means Jack and Foley can just push right up because Wilson's playing that deep for everyone else as well. I don't know. Flyers have opted to go 6v6 though, which who knows?
Potentially open up the field. Ramadan now trying to make a little bit of space, but too much traffic in the way of that. Now he gets it. Nice strong mark by Tran. Switch by the Riptide.
They gone back to their zone as well? Looks
No,
like
still on zone. The zone looks really tired. Up in the air again. Oh, what happened there?
Bambi just snatched it.
I'm not too sure if Donaldson just sort of like decided to avoid the collision.
I thought it was far away.
I reckon he was about a good half metre. He wasn't as close as he'd normally be.
I think great composure by Bambi, though.
So here we come again.
Very good.
Tries to get the early grab. I just don't think Donaldson's feet left the ground.
I don't think they did either. I think he's just misstepped as he walked.
Back to the Jack of old, maybe?
No, I think he's just, his steps were out of time to when he wanted to actually reach up to grab the disc. He reached up to grab the disc and his feet went on the ground to give him a spring. I play one of his highlights, though. That'll make him feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a missed time on the steps. It's unfortunate. But great composure by Bambi. Like, did everything right. (5-4). Like, I would have said on paper Riptide stronger, but Flyers doing really well to hang in there. They obviously need a break back here. But they're getting turns, and the 6v6 zone is doing okay.
Got a question for you, mate, and that is, I'm just hearing sideline talk here from the Flyers, and they're talking about how many points each player has been on the field. And they just said Bambi's done 9 points, a couple of others maybe 5 points. How important is that rotation for a team and for a player individually?
At the end of the day, it's one game. I think it's important if you're playing like a 4-day tournament, you're playing 3 games a day, you have to strategically like rest players and stuff, but like I don't expect Ferdy to take a sub. I don't expect Oscar to take a sub. Like, I don't mind it. Like,
the weather isn't a factor here either, really, is it?
It's if anything, it's cooling down. Great little throw from Richie.
Now that is the throw we needed to see before, where Donaldson did it. It's nice, low, flat. Yeah. There's that last pick that we were
and I got to say
about.
that's not a number 11 throw. that is like a 4th or 5th round pick throw.
Low, flat, a good 30-meter throw, maybe 40.
Yeah, whatever Foley was picked, 1 round higher than that. Worked in pretty easily in the end. I couldn't even tell. Was that a zone as well? I couldn't even tell.
Yeah, I think it was. But hey, look what we've got now, a 6-4 game.
Yeah.
So a couple in a row to Riptide. It's still early days. I don't think it's going to affect either team. But if they get a third one.
Yeah, as long as the Flyers know they can come back. Like, at this level, there's always turns around the place. Like, even if they're unforced errors, you're gonna get the disc when you're on defense. Like, when you play defense, you're gonna get the disc.
We also know from experience, that 2-3 point lead build is sometimes hard to come back when you're just trading. And these two teams are very even, and I feel that they're trading teams. So this 2 point buffer, if it extends to a 3, could mean a lot at the end of the game, and I feel it will.
Yeah. You just got to play like the coach's cliche, like, oh, game to 3, boys, that sort of thing, like all that sort of rubbish. Where you just maybe call get a score. Ooh,
hey, look what we've got here. Match now.
See, and this sideline is going to be hard for their match. Oscar does okay, but he's not in a stronger position. He does well to get it to 30 there.
So
like I said, there's no win, so there's a lot of these little more touchy trick throws that are going to be there. It's Harry's looking for someone. 30 gives it to him. Ooh.
Second grab effort? No.
Oh, there's like, I get that Harry had a full hand on it and he dropped it, but that's not to his advantage. Like, it's a throw where he's reaching behind him. It's tough.
And that was from 30, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So he should know better. He should have that skill skill set,
definitely.
knowledge to do that.
It will go down as a drop for Harry, and that's unfortunate, but... What's going on here? Travel. Yep. It's cool. Been a pretty good game for calls, though. Just had that one travel call early, but it's pretty flowy from then on.
I think we've only had the 2 travel calls then.
Yeah. No, it's good. Bit of a knife there.
Nice hammer, bit of a stretch.
Again, lots of patience. I like the match play though. Like they look like they're putting on so much more pressure in a match.
It's a nicer game to see in many respects.
Yeah, for sure. And the wind is non-existent now. Oop, little bit of contact.
So I think Perkins is calling a foul.
Yeah, I think he just clipped his leg. And, not a lot in it, but I don't think the stall count was very high. That's fine. Let him stand up.
Just going back in on 0. What will Donaldson do? What will his support look like? Cheeky inside.
Yep, nice little high release, which I think anything's a high release from Jack. Oh, that's where Harry lays. Look
at his lay again.
That was great as well. Like, look, that's the one where he's way closer to it.
This is A for effort from Harry.
This is the reflexes. Like,
the only thing I'm concerned about, and I'd like you to have a look at his landing. The style of his landing. He gets his arms extended, but then that.
Yeah,
what do you think?
It's because he's laying out up. Like, he's not doing the 30 layout where he's fully horizontal. He's at good pace. Like, he can put his arms out as skis and have a little bit of a ride. But because Harry laid out up, he's not going to get that ride. If he puts his arms out forward, he's probably just going to slap his face on the ground, to be honest.
True that.
I think at the end of the day, you might, like, get a bit of a sore wrist, but you got to protect your face. Like,
yeah.
Like that just said whiplash, nose straight into the ground all over it to me. So, yeah. And like I said, because he didn't have that full speed, like horizontal speed, he's probably not going to hurt his like wrists and shoulders and stuff too bad. But, like, way close to that time, and I guarantee he's not going to go to bed tonight wondering if he would have got that D.
No, no. And that's the good thing.
The reflexes kicked in. He was, like, way closer than before. Like, the third time, those reflexes are going to kick in, and he'll get it. Like, look for Harry to make, like, maybe 2 or 3 incredible Ds this league. Like, if that's how he wants to play D, he's got the athleticism. He's close to his player. Like, he's going to be there for one of them.
Let him do his thing and shine doing it.
This is Riptide running away with this game, though. Like, if they take half here, put themselves... I'm pretty sure Flyers got the pull. Like, got thrown to on the first point of the game.
They did.
So if Riptide come out in offense after taking the half 8-4, we might be going home a little bit early tonight.
Yes, this would be 4 in a row, which I'm not too sure whether I would have expected this actually from Riptide.
No, I think they're pretty. I thought they were. The consensus was they looked like the strongest team. Flyers, moving around. That's a good grab. This zone doesn't look too good, but I think they're just banking on like that unforced error if they make them throw enough throws.
So it is a bit of a Swiss cheese zone that they've got here.
Flyers are moving. They've moved it halfway up the field. This doesn't need to be a hammer.
That didn't need to be that either.
Yeah.
Riptide, poised, position, Foley. Does he want the assist? No, he doesn't.
Let's get it to the middle of the field.
That's going to be just wide. How often have we seen that in that corner over the last 2 games, just going wide of the mark?
Yeah, that's forcing it, though. Like, they didn't have a lot of pressure around the disc then.
I mean, ideally, when you're in the front, just centre it.
Yeah.
and
Play from the middle.
allow the movement to create a gap and an open for you.
I feel like Ferdy's been really shut out of this game, though. We'll see if they change the assassin on him now to John.
So a bit of movement up the field. If Bambi goes, a bit of a give go as well. He's still free. And we've dropped it all the way back pretty much to the front of the end zone.
And see him as handler, it's not dangerous.
You'd be happy any day of the week for Ferdy to play handler and not get at midfield.
Yeah. Or just not power positions. Like, right now, this is scary.
So we've got Turnbull here.
He's thrown a bad throw, though.
He had 2 plays. He really had to position himself to get the jump early. And Foley, I think it was Foley there, made sure that, was it?
Yeah, Foley put his body in the way.
Just made sure he had to jump early.
Didn't need to.
Put enough pressure on.
I'm glad he doesn't get the stat for that, though. Didn't deserve it. You got to get the stat. You got to touch the disc, Foley. But again, 30 power position, like, dangerous. I would have liked to see him just throw maybe like a slightly centering 10 to 15 meter throw, like go and get it again, like just be that engine room, like on the run and gun.
So Oscar's coming in from that far side, and the disc was delivered to the middle.
Ooh, that's a bit of a bid there.
Here we go. Foley unleashes.
Foley's had a crack. Oscar's in a good position though.
Jumps early again. Gordon comes up with it.
Yeah, Matt Gordon, he's having a bit of a blinder.
Nice. Dumps it back so he can get the goal and score. So runaway last few points as we see this last point before we go to some ads. 4 points in the lead.
Oscar just misread it.
That's twice though.
And great, like it's really easy as Matt to get baited by that early jump. Like he knew what his timing was. He knew where he wanted to grab it. He didn't get baited by the early jump from Oscar. Did really well.
So we'll leave you with those thoughts as we go to some ads.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Welcome back.
Riptide are in front 8-4.
Okay, we were wrong about the serve at the start. It's like Flyers have received a pull. But still, 4 points is a not insignificant lead.
I definitely concur with that. Speaking of turns and turn ball, Dis trying to go to him and we get a turn.
That's a risky throw. Oh, Bambi just got the
Lovely reverse foot
a
block.
little like Ronaldo type foot block. This is where Ferdy can do lots of good work. He's in match. Like, I know it's Wilson, but
That's
but
into traffic.
Ferdy just has to be better. Like, he just has to be better than Wilson. You've just got to, like, sometimes.
How hard is that, do you think?
It is really hard, but it's freaking Ferdy. Like, he's an Aussie rep.
I definitely think Ferdy's got the skills to do that, though.
Yeah. Like, he's got to work.
As good as Tran is, I think Ferdy is better in that foot race and the turns. But
Wilson's an Aussie rep as well, but like I feel like you always have the advantage as an offensive player if you're equal skill, because you get to dictate what's going to happen.
Exactly.
The defense has to react, and there'll always be that lag in reaction time, no matter how like small your reaction time is. It's always there. So I think Ferdy and Wilson, they're evenly matched, but you just got to win sometimes.
What are games to? Normally
15,
15.
I would say. Yeah, 15, half a day. I don't know.
We've got an 8-5 sort of blowout at the moment. Interestingly enough, halftime talk by the Flyers didn't address how they're going to get Ferdy back in the game, or what was happening in that first game with the assassination on Ferdy.
Yeah, I think that's a hard conversation to have as a team, because you don't want to bring everyone else down saying, like, we're not good enough without him, that sort of thing. Like, I think talking about what you can do better as a full team, like Ferdy, I'm sure he's feeling out of the game. Like, he probably knows that he has to get himself back in it, and he just needs to be good enough to do it. Right. You're on offense, you get to choose where to run, you get to choose how you call to your team. I don't know.
So what are you saying? Lift your game, Ferdy?
Lift your game 30. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm trying to read between the lines there.
Just freaking play better. If you're playing bad, just stop doing that and play good. I don't know. I think especially if they start getting matched, he's going to realize, I've got a bit more room now. Like, my players have a bit more room to be able to make throws.
So Ferdy given an entry in the game with pulling duties.
Yeah, that's a good little pull. Good field positioning. He's sauntered down there, though, pretty slowly. Wilson's had a crack.
There's that.
Jack, 12 feet tall.
6'13" height, just comes into it. Pushes his defender, just a little nudge under the disc. Probably got 2 inches off the ground, take an easy grab.
Yep, didn't matter. Didn't matter. Yeah, good body position in the end, though. Like, he stopped where he needed to stop. He didn't.
You see the little arm out, just to give him that space, and then too easy.
Yeah.
What can you do against that?
Well.
And that's one of the matchups I think that they would have been talking about, that it's almost impossible to defend.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's not a good-looking huck or catch. Like, it's a catch of a static player in the middle of the field. Like, he's not running onto it. He's not like catching it off a run.
As a handler, what do you see? You just sort of see 8 foot versus 5 foot, and you just put it.
I don't mind it, but like that's nobody's going to coach that, you know.
No,
like there's no drills for that. It's not super attractive frisbee, but yeah, effective. It's effective. But yeah, flat throws to people that are much taller than other people.
So have we seen Donaldson play upfield much recently? I don't recall him being there.
Last Super League he had to be a handler, I think. I think he was on the Titans, was he, or Flyers?
So he's played handler role so far in this match, and defensively as a deep.
Yeah, but I don't think he needs to be a handler in this match.
Well, not after that.
No, I don't know. It's forever. Like he never needs to be a handler. I don't mind. Like, yeah, I feel like the Riptide don't have huge throwers, but they have great power position throwers.
So that was downwind, and really at this level, all players should be able to throw that to Jack.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Seeing the zone again. Flyers need to figure this out. Like, there is no wind. Oh, golly gosh.
So Oscar's running around a bit more.
I like this. I like...
So 30's hanging off. Tran's still on him. Cuts back. Now he gets it.
30's done really well. He's gotten free of the assassin. I like this from 30. I like this a lot.
Oh, look at that. Bid by
He's
Perkins
moving around
again.
like... This is what you can do, even if you're being assassinated and you...
That was I thought it was a great look. Like low release. Look at that.
It's a rising rocket.
It's a rising rocket, but it's well within his grasp.
Yeah,
well
it
within.
Been caught.
That was a gimme. That should have been
caught.
taken. I'm not making any excuses for this one. Sorry.
Nah, you don't think you should have hit him on the chest?
No way.
Could have hit him on the chest, maybe. But yeah, I like the intent of 30 there. Like, if you're getting assassinated, you just work harder.
There's a defense in the way.
Easy 3 points for Keith.
Yeah, he'd be loving that. Just loving it.
Yeah. Did you have him on your fans? Whatever your chicken comp?
Didn't know. Hindsight's a great thing though.
Yeah. Nah, you always love you love that sort of stuff. You see, that hammer should be on all day, but I don't feel like the Flyers' wings are not in the right position. That's a good little throw. Oh, he should have looked to the middle of the field there, though. Luke Meyer, that's who it is.
That's it.
Does Bambi Twinkle toes that in?
I think he has. They're calling it.
Good job. He needs to bounce this here. 30 needs to get free.
That's
Don't mind the
Bladey.
blade.
Still very catchable.
Yep.
And hammer back.
Yeah. Nice little bullet hammer. And that just shows that this zone, it's not on anymore.
So here, I've got another question for you, mate.
Yep.
Oscar Turnbull. Hammer versus long whatever. Flick, backhand.
The hammer gets there faster.
Yeah.
That's the advantage. If you can throw a low flat hammer, like it's still high. It's always high enough off the ground. Like you see this, even if he's throwing like right over Jack, even that's still too high for Jack, probably. But
We won't go into that just yet. But
maybe he's 15 feet tall, but it just gets there so fast. I think Luke only had. I'm pretty sure it was Luke. I think he only had like maybe 4 or 5 meters of separation from the closest Riptide player, but they had no chance.
no,
They didn't even take off.
and
It just gets there so fast.
I remember earlier in the game we saw Turnbull with a couple of hammers which worked. They weren't floaty. They didn't allow defensive pressure to get there. I'm not saying he needs to do it all the time, but it is a weapon that he
it's
can
gotta
pull
be a
out.
threat. Yeah. Especially if you're going to see these zones. But the problem is, I feel like for a lot of that point, the wings just weren't in a position to receive that hammer. Like, that was a great positioning from Luke to receive the hammer. So if Riptide are going to persist with the zone, which I don't think they should, it's on the Flyers' wings to be in a position to make that hammer an easy throw. I don't think the Riptide wings are playing good enough to stop it. But 6-9, they've clawed one back.
They
3
have.
points in it. Love to see him get a break here, though. Love to see it.
Let's see what happens.
Great pull from 30. Flyers have to get down to take advantage of it. It's put him in the end zone. That's really good. Pressure on from the second throw. It's okay.
30 finally gets downfield after the
I'm sure he's
pull.
got heaps of energy left for this point, though. Bit of a floater. Yeah. At this stage, there is no strong side. Like, you want to play it through the middle, throw third to third. Like,
Now
There's no excuses for offense anymore.
So somehow that one.
Oh,
What happened?
he's put it down. I think it just bounced out of his hands as he hit the ground.
Ground strip.
Yeah. That's the,
Felt it in his back. You saw him reach for his back at the end there.
Runs himself under it.
So there's the one back. So that was Oscar with his flick again, I think.
Yeah, throwing over your receiver's head makes it hard. Ooh, you see, Oscar, he'll be thinking about that one tonight. If he had the Harry Buckland reflexes, I think he would have.
Combine them both together in the right way, and you've got a powerhouse.
Yeah. There's Ryan Froud, another player that I feel like was an absolute steal for Riptide. Like, I don't think he. Yeah, I've rated him for a few years, Ryan. Like as a kind of lower down pick, like pretty athletic guy. He's not short. Like, just I feel like he can make a lot of stuff happen, especially as that like kind of 10th pick player.
So good depth
Great
at the moment.
Depth from Riptide. I think, depth is definitely their strength.
As we speak, their number 11 pick, Appleby, comes on now.
Ridiculous.
So obviously go from bad to worse, not. But in the opposite direction, maybe.
All right, trading again. That's going to do absolutely nothing for the Flyers in this game. Still plenty of time, though. Only 60 minutes through. I think 80-minute games. So they got
20 minutes averaging
like
2 minutes a point.
Yeah, I think if Flyers want to win this, I don't think Riptide can score more than 2 points from here on out. Like, if Flyers have to get to 13, I think it's going to be that's going to be a pretty tall ask.
So will Riptide drop the ball?
Nice catch from Keith there. It's always nerve-wracking when you got a blading pull coming in towards you. Again, Ferdy has to want it. I know he got kind of let down last time, but he's got to want this. It's a match play. Like, you just got to beat Wilson.
And
Bambi's on the ground.
Yeah, something happened there.
Didn't see the contact there. Might have just been an accidental clip. Oh,
yeah, just
looks
himself.
like he might have just, hit a little divot. I think that's what happened to Greg last game.
Is that what happened? I missed that.
Yeah, he just put his foot in a little divot and I think just absolutely lost the ankle.
Greg's was a lot worse, though.
Greg's was way worse. That ended his game. Luke Mayer's heaps more confidence. I love to see it.
Big backhand winder.
Harry's going to have to beat Wilson.
No.
Wilson and John Perkins, which I think.
Oscar, mate, I'm going to have to say this on the stream too, because I'm not going to see you afterwards. Just your decision making at the moment needs to lift.
Yeah, this is an easy catch for Jack.
I don't think so, mate. Nice try, but
he ruined it a bit, but just throw the goal and get the 2 points. There you go. I don't know. Yeah, you always want to watch your goals back. But I don't know if I'd.
Boom! Oh,
I don't mind the travel call on that one if you want. Oh dear, but all good.
Multiple options there on the end.
Looks good on the stat sheet.
Riptide continue their journey into double digits. Flyers trailing by 5.
Yeah, it's going to have to take a Herculean effort.
Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall for Riptide in my notebook anyway.
Just count them out. Not going to...
Nah, not even.
Keep it alive for the viewers or anything?
No point. I think our viewers know a death when they see it as well. Look, I'm going to give the Flyers to 8. But I think Riptide...
If they get to 8 from here and Riptide don't score, then game on.
No, I think it's going to be 8:15. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Flyers will get to 8. 9 at an outside, but Riptide to 15.
You don't think they're even going to make the time cap?
Yeah. We're now, you said 80-minute games, we're at the 61-minute mark. Mathematically, I just feel the writing is on the wall for Flyers. So 30, what's happening here?
Just be every second pass 30.
Are Riptide now sort of giving up on him, or? Because if they do, a lovely leap by Chow. Puts it into the back. We have a second effort there. Someone's down though. There was contact there.
Bambi's down. I think that was Luke catching the goal in the end zone. So.
Okay, I'm going to retract my 8 or 9, only on the basis, what are they doing with 30 now? Have they given, do they think they've got that much of a lead? They're giving up on him?
Maybe
he wasn't marked.
Wilson's a bit tired. Oh, it was a zone, but it looked like just a
without an assassination.
Zone. Yeah, just a standard zone. I don't know. The zone's terrible anyway. Just play match.
I'm not going to argue with you there, but if Riptide want to take this out and get points on the board and have that nice margin.
I think they're probably just happy trading it out. Like I feel like they haven't felt too much pressure on offense. You got a bit of a score buffer. I know it feels good to just
don't you just want
kill
to
them on a D run?
Don't twist the knife in though.
Maybe they didn't have like the right points or wings on. So Wilson need to drop back to a wing position because they were down a strong wing. I don't know. I don't think they have to worry about it too much. Just focus on sticking this one in.
Well, if they don't worry about it, then they might have to worry at the back end.
Like, Flyers haven't looked like they've put too much defensive pressure on. We'll see if they can manufacture a break here. But I think, and it's a pretty easy thing to fix. Right. We just go back to assassinating 30 if they get broken. We'll see. Flyers are going to have to put on some sort of effective defense here.
So we have a brick.
Brick call. No excuses for that. There's absolutely no wind. It's a pretty big field. You just got to hit it.
Remind me of the width of the field again.
36 metres.
So you've got a good 20 to play with on either side of the centre, roughly.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did the fields feel underfoot in your first game? Are they heavy? Are they hard? Is it light?
It's pretty sandy, and kind of divotty, I would say. And so, yeah. No, I felt fine, though. The Lutheran fields have always been pretty good. Except right after, the start of September. Yeah, Riptide not feeling too much. Easy little jinx back to the centre. John Brill still bringing the engine room.
30 doing a lot of physical work with Donaldson.
I don't mind that matchup as well. 30 probably has the hops to jump with him. Even though you wouldn't think it to look at them.
Pick called.
Oh. All right, Keith.
I'm not too sure who was marking who, but...
Keith thinks you can run a 9-second 100-metre with that one. We'll see. That's fine. I don't mind it going back there.
Must have missed him in the trials for Paris.
Yeah. That was Riptide's fault for having a gross stack. This is another regret from Oscar. Nice little throw from John.
Finally, Jack gets the disc.
Yeah.
Foley inside, no layout there at the end.
It was an athletic throw, though. Oh, look at those legs. He'll be filthy about that. Just get there.
Yeah. I mean, if Flyers are to get back into this, I want to see a clean upfield to them. And that was almost a trigger pulled.
Yep. But I like the vision of Jack being there. I think Flyers just need to play this through the middle of the field. Like, look, you're getting unders, you're gaining ground.
And that's what I'm saying.
Don't get stuck on a sideline.
I want to see this clean going through the middle.
Oh, that's a good little throw.
That was a great throw, actually. Nice way, and that's unfortunate. There's no call there. What is the call here? That looked like a plain drop to me. Can we see that on replay? What is the call?
Sure
Did you get the call? That's a clean drop. There's nothing there. It's a go. He's got a planted foot.
He's called a foul, has he? I don't know.
I think he just got caught unawares, got in a panic and called something to try and bring it back.
Oh, I don't know if that makes it sound malicious, but
well, no, but I'm not saying it was the malicious intent was there, but sometimes players get in their head about that.
Yeah, oh well, right call was made. John should have got that and just run and gun, but it's all good now. Riptide not really generating a lot through the middle of the field. Like, they've got great field position to work.
So working from a central stack.
Yeah. John Brill, he's always open though. Like, especially when you get stuck like that, he'll always be open.
Perkins calls for it long.
And because John does so much work, he can just jog around on Harry. Like,
so Chow playing a very loose mark on Perkins upfield. A static stack at the moment.
Yeah, I think maybe people are a bit gassed at the moment. Wilson's not. He rested a bit as the assassin.
Tran to Foley, back to Brill.
You can throw 5 more passes before you throw the goal. But this is just going to be an easy one.
Yeah.
Wilson spiked it even though he's like a bazillion points up. Yeah.
So these three played with each other for a long time. Tran, Foley, Brill, working that front end zone quite nicely to affect a point as Riptide are now 3 away. And a timeout blue called.
So the resting timeout. Run down the clock a little bit.
Why not? So that should take it to the 71-minute mark by the time they resume play.
Yeah, I feel like if Flyers are going to win this, we're going to be here till bloody 11 o'clock.
True that.
Because you always have to win the last point to win.
You do. And that's the beauty of the game. I actually really love that about this game. You can't just rest on your laurels. You've got to win that last point.
Yeah, I'm so early. That's good. I don't think this game's going to go for that much longer. It's hard. How many games do you think Cody's going to play in this league? This one. One. Oh, I'm injured now, boys. Sorry. Yeah. Did you win a game that season? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's huge actually.
1, 2, 3, Flyers!
I think Johnny's at Masters.
Yeah. So he should still be like good to go. Marty keeps talking himself down though, of course. Nah, I'm sure it'll come out like dominate still.
So we've come out of this time out, and as we said, we're 71 approaching 72 minutes, so roughly 8 minutes of game left, which is enough time for Riptide to get 3 in a row. It's not enough time for Flyers to get to 15, but we'll see about that.
Well, like, so you got to score the last point, so if all Flyers do from now on score, then time doesn't matter.
That is, but I think the key word there was if, wasn't it? Look, Riptide in that timeout discussed their stack flow, and they've got a strategy, and they're not executing it. So they really wanted to tidy that up.
They're not executing it. Not by 5 points.
Well, in that last point, they weren't executing it. So they talked about that, so everyone's on the same page again. If they do get on that page, then yes, that will be their only aberration, and they will get the 3 points in a row. But that is yet to be seen. That is the future script, which is unwritten. Let's see how it plays out and what actually gets down on the page. So Donaldson's actually come to play now because he's taken his trackies off. He was doing a lot more running around in that last point. Oscar calling for Ramadan.
Good intent from 30. I'll just look like he can beat Wilson. He can win. Because he gets to make the decision about where they go. Good little step. He's kind of got stitched up by his team a little bit there.
I'm gonna look, if Flyers aren't making any ground at the moment, well, here they do right now. That's much better.
This is where, but there's no options for him.
That's it.
There's the option. John's a bit done. There you go. Great intent from 30. He threw like 5 passes at that point. Threw the goal against Wilson as well. Like he can win. Great throw. Good little bit of edge as well. It's not flat. It's like it's leading the player. It's not over his head.
Had that edge on it.
That's how you coach.
Yes.
Like, that's what you coach. Really good from 30 at that point.
Flyers now on 8.
This is a stage where you want to claw a few back to know that you can. So like even if you lose like 15-11 or whatever, maybe they won't get to that far, but like maybe like they lose 13-10 and they win these next 3 points, but they lose the match.
Now everyone's different, but to me, from a psychological standpoint, 12 sounds doable. But once it gets to 13 and you're trailing by a bit,
you're done.
Psychologically, you sort of start thinking, like they only need 2, and you almost give up internally.
I think they just need to score more points in the next 6 minutes. Like they're down by 4 and they're off serve, but as long as they score more points in the next like 5 minutes now, you can take it. Like you can know that you can beat them. And like you said, Marty and Johnny, 2 pretty high hits. Like I think that's their marquee players out. Good hang time from Oscar there.
That's nice, actually. Does come back upfield a little bit.
To the brick mark, but
so this is where Riptide were talking about their plan. So there's a bit of an execution from the back
good little
straight
ups
away.
from John Perkins there.
I think Perkins has got it all over Chow.
Yeah, this is where the legs come into it. Good little shutdown defense on 30. Oh, Harry needs to lay there. Maybe it was a bit too high.
Oh, that was just going to the right of Perkins. He had to change direction in Superman mode.
He would have felt great, but I think that was a terrible camera angle for him. He's going to be disappointed with how it looked.
Straight in and it has to dive back.
You see, like that's not a good angle for that.
Nah.
That's not a good angle. I'd be bummed. Great play, and he's kept the disc alive for his team. But if you do stuff like that and it's on film, you want it to look good, you know.
So does he need to have a word to the cameraman? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I think
does someone have to have a word to
complaining
the
that Rex doesn't have multiple angles is a bit harsh, I think. Yeah, where's the drone, Rex? Where's the drone?
Out of the budget.
It's out of the budget.
Drone with the right hand. Pole cam with the left.
Yeah, it's spider cam.
Was that an early jump or a run out of field?
I think it might have just been
run out of
on
field.
the-
I think it was run out of field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you might have, like, Harry didn't go there. I think he might have had to. I think it was close enough to the line that if he closed his hand around it and did a bit of fancy footwork, he might have been able to save it. Oh, you gotta respect that undercut.
Oh, that was a nice cut.
Job from
Straight
Keith.
down the middle to open up the field.
Bambi is open here. Bambi is open. Oh, didn't have the thrower though.
Okay, now they can work it. I mean, have flyers actually ever really worked it to the front of the end zone and
Nice
walked
little
it in?
inside break. Yeah, not really. It's been risky throw after risky throw. This is who you want with it though. Oh, if Harry, I think there was a jag cut from Harry there.
There's the inside. Ferdy will be so unhappy about that decision.
It's
Well, the
just
decision was there, the execution.
uncharacteristically slow pivot from Ferdy. Usually very quick and athletic.
Under, Hamish, under. Jack! Get there, Keith, get there, up.
Nice up the line. Perkins, disc in hand. Are they going to continue
Or
that?
Perkins could have maybe had a crack at that. Ugly little throw. Put it up to Jack. Ooh.
And that was pressure. That
I
was
think-
purely pressure.
I think that was pure hubris. Like, he's like, I've got this. I'm just going to walk it in. He didn't put his body in a good spot. Missed the jump. I think that was a bit of, dare I say, arrogance. I don't know. I think Jack thought Jack was celebrating the goal before he'd caught
But
it.
that is quintessential Jack, though, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know well enough to say.
I feel it is, and I'm not talking about the arrogance. I don't think he's an arrogant guy, but sometimes it's just the bit more effort that needs to be
Harry's
put
got to
in.
go left here. He's got to go left.
And he just got nudged in the back, and he was.
Yeah, I don't know. I think.
That was always going to be. Look at the way he's had to look over his head for it and gets nudged in the back.
I thought that from our angle here, I thought the D was a little bit worse than that, but I didn't mind it in the end. Oh, maybe under his, like, he's probably under his arm a little bit and pushing up. Oh, that's a tough one.
I mean, in the end, I think he landed on his leg a little bit, but it was as an awful throw.
Oh, I didn't mind the
in terms
throw
of coming
too
over
much.
his head, same
Yeah,
third
it's
over his head.
pretty flat. But, yeah, I think defense could have done better than that. But I think to the letter there might be something in this, but I don't know. Yeah, the throw shouldn't be rewarded. Same third, pretty flat, contested. Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think maybe someone else might have been able to talk Harry out of that one.
So here we go. Let's have a look at that.
But this comes under the arm there. Like, you can't.
And it takes the leg out as he lands. That's
Yeah,
what I
don't
think
worry.
Harry. That's what I think Harry was calling. He felt that.
Yeah, but I don't know. If the leg's not the thing. I think it's the under the arms is like as you
Yeah. No,
on your
I agree with
tricep
you.
as you go up. That's what does you. And I think that could have been cleaned up. And I think the D was there to be made clean. I think. But good pump from Oscar to
It is.
get it from.
if you could get it around the pole cam.
Well, if Harry was in Bambi's spot now in the middle of the field, then that throw, like, he wanted it again.
Well, as I was saying, like if Oscar could have got around pole cam, it would have come in from a different third.
Keith. And Keith is running out of the field, but yeah, just a couple of centimetres off.
At the 80-minute mark, didn't we say that was?
Yeah, are we? Yep.
Time cap. Did you? Okay.
Good job, Folly.
So we do have time. We didn't hear it. Apologies. You heard us talking to.
Its
Timekeeper.
headphones are pretty deadening. Oh, I don't like this. But, okay.
So game to 14.
Yeah, we're going to be here for a long time if Flyers are going to win this.
And again, I'm just going to state it's a big if in my books. I think I said 8:15, didn't I?
8:15, yeah.
Well, we might get 8:14. Let's see. It ain't over yet. And
thought you were all doom and gloom about this one, Phil. You were doom and gloom about this one 10 minutes ago.
As my co-host commentator has said, you have to win the last point to win the game.
I've never seen it come back with 5 points.
They've taken their hero Perkins off. I don't know about that.
You can be rested for 3 points and then come back on to win the game.
Yeah. Trying to give more glory to the rest of his team. They're taking their time. There's no rush anymore. We've reached time cap.
Yeah, but still want to go home to bed, you know.
Well, at least one of us does.
Let's just.
It is a glorious evening here, though.
It is really nice. Some of us, we have to work tomorrow, Phil.
Who's that?
Nice little bit of hang time from Foley. Makes about the brick mark. Could have thrown out of bounds.
Oscar thought about catching that and then let it drop at his feet.
Yeah, there's no point. There's too much hang time. Defense is already there.
No one on 30.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this point to Flyers, barring any drop. Or maybe a huck from Oscar.
The wings aren't in the right position. Good spot for Harry, though.
So 30's only just crossed the halfway mark now.
Great point from Harry.
Like I said, I gave the point to Flyers. They just Riptide. I just felt they didn't have any pressure in that point.
No. Like they've been saying all night, zone it's just not the play. Like that's the lazy play. That's we just want to trade play, and we want you to throw a few throws to make you feel like you earned it.
So I think they must have heard me and want to make me look like a bit of a fool. If they get to 9. I did say at a stretch they'd get to 9.
This is just trade to 9 though. Like I don't know. They haven't broken it all. We're just playing serve. That's fine for the Riptide. They're not feeling the pressure. You just who wants to what's the point of earning it on defense? We're just going to give it to you now anyway.
Or didn't you want to go to bed early?
Yeah, but I'm not playing.
2 minutes.
Yeah, but it's not up to me. I don't think they care what I think. There you go. They get the disc now. No wind. Perfect weather.
What are Flyers going to do defensively? Because they've all but given up, I feel.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are they going to put a sloppy zone on?
I hope not. Play match. Go out with a bit of glory. At least if you play match. Sometimes it doesn't matter how you individually play in zone. You can't do anything. But if you play match, maybe you can make a heroic individual play, or at least each player knows that if I do my job, then we'll win. I don't know. I feel like you can feel it. Yeah, you get a bit more.
Ramadan, is this his last touch of the evening with a pull? We'll see.
It's a good one, though.
Foley,
there's a big
Donaldson.
Miscommunication on the... Jack's just thrown this away, though. Couple of stats for Harry. Yeah. Well done. He's played really well tonight, I feel like. Deserves the stats.
Deserves a bit more in the positive than in the negative.
Surely he's not negative.
No, I'm just saying.
I think he's done
he deserves it.
Yeah. Unless they've given him a few drops that are undeserved.
It was good to see a couple of points ago he did grab that one which was thrown behind him to make up for the earlier one which was thrown behind him. Got a hose stack here. bit of a switch under
Oh,
deep.
it's overthrown. Like, just
What was
Flyers
that?
have just thrown worse. They've just thrown worse.
I feel as though both teams are just... They've taken their foot off the pedal big time. And this is a training drill right now.
Yeah. Yeah. We're slow. It's late. I don't know. I think it's going to be really tough mentally to play defenses.
So from this
Flyers.
position, it should be a score for the Riptide.
Yeah, you'd think so. Oh, a couple little misfires from John Perkins. Doesn't matter. There's an easy out from
I haven't seen
Matt
much of Gordon in a handler position, so I don't know what he's like
I
there.
think it's just being a little reset. Kind of just got himself trapped up there without clearing out, but it's fine. They needed someone to do it.
6 metres out.
Well, Wilson didn't need to throw that, but he's done a good job. Good little throw.
I think Foley gets the last laugh, last catch of the game.
Yeah, bit of a drubbing in the end.
A bit anticlimactic. After they were trading, let's just sort of like review the game quickly. Trading for the first 4 or 5 points. Riptide get away to a 2-3 point lead, take half, come back. What happened after half?
Well, they took half 8-4, so that's 4 points up, and they finished 14-9. So then they won the second half by 1 at the end of the day. So it's...
Yeah, exactly.
Bit of a wash.
Look, thanks for tuning in to our live stream. Watch the replay if you didn't see the first match. That's here on ULTI.TV.
Yep, support ULTI.TV on Patreon as well.
Exactly, good call there. My name's Phil Shields.
I'm Sam.
And thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
ULTI.TV.